stand before you now, pretending to be cool, and all the while I'm wondering if I'm looking like a fool. Will I be as perfect as I think I ought to be? And when I'm not, what will you think of me? I need a plan to see me through. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop reading other people's minds. I'm gonna look at the good that surrounds me. I'm gonna listen to my heart when it tells me what to do. I will notice every time a little dream comes true. I'll do all the living I've been missing when I stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen. Walking through the park, there was beauty all around, but I didn't see a thing, 'cause my eyes were on the ground. I didn't see the sun or the sky so blue. I was thinking days ahead of all the things I had to do, drowning in stress and strain. I said it's time for me to make a change. I gotta stop reading other people's minds. I'm gonna look at the good that surrounds me. I'm gonna listen to my heart when it tells me what to do. I'm gonna notice every time a little dream comes true. I'll do all the living I've been missing when I stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen. It's so hard to hear what my heart says to me when my mind is constantly chattering. Living in the past or in future plans means watching the present slip through my hands. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stop reading other people's minds. I'm gonna look at the good that surrounds me. I'm gonna listen to my heart when it tells me what to do. I'm gonna notice every time a little dream comes true. I'll do all the living I've been missing when I stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen.
Yeah, well, how many of us really stop, look, and listen? I mean, I'm sure we think we do, but is that what we're really doing? Yeah, I'm not quite sure that we could say that that's always what we're doing. It's probably not what we're doing most of the time. And yet, it's in stopping and listening that our power lies, especially when we stop and turn within and listen, because that's where all our power comes from. And so let's affirm that with our opening statement together. There is only one presence, one power, and one activity, God, the good, omnipotent. And the prayer for our church, keeping in mind, as always, our church vision to be one of the greatest life-transforming churches in the world, and our mission, which supports that vision, to love the soul, light the mind, lift the heart, and heal the body. So as we keep these things in mind, let's say this prayer for our church together. Bless the work of our church, O Lord. Let our ideals be true. Let our efforts be helpful. Let our words be filled with healing. Let our attitude be joyful. Let the stranger find true welcome and remain his friend. For the Father draws his beloved to this place in his name. Let love and understanding among all people establish peace in our world. Father, Mother, God, we thank you. Now I invite you to bring to mind one or two other people that you would like to hold in prayer. And as you do so, we're not going to envision the answer to their prayer, because that is between them and their understanding of God. We are going to envision the look on their face as they realize that their prayers have been answered, because answered prayer is always within. And so just envision that in your mind as we say these words in this prayer for others together. As I behold the Christ in you, I see you happy, healthy, prosperous, loving, and beloved, going forth joyously to meet your good. And so we hold this vision of them moving forward in their lives with an open mind, open heart, open arms, embracing the good that lies before them right now in this moment. And as always, we are grateful for answered prayer. Amen. Now I invite you to join us for our hymn, which you'll find on back of I Choose Love. And our hymn for today is
Yes, I Am. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. And I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I am here to learn. Yes, I am here to live. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to learn. Yes, I am here to live. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. And I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God, of God, my God, of God, my God.
Okay, so if you open up your bulletin, you'll see all the wonderful things that are going on around here, all the coming up things. Creating the Beloved Community is this week, September 2nd at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom with Reverend Stephanie Sy. So come on in and join us for that. The notice went out already with the materials for this upcoming session. And a reminder will go out on Tuesday. So I look forward to seeing you there. Groundskeeping in service is this coming Saturday, the 6th, right, Mayor? Is she here? Yep, from 9 to 12 noon. And so come on in with your tools and your gardening gloves. And you can come for an hour. You can come for the entire time. And just play with us and work with us in the garden. It's also a great time for fellowship and getting to know each other better. So come on in and join us for that. In Cherry Hill, the 17th annual Out in the Park Festival is coming up, and we are resurrecting our hug booth for this festival. I am very excited about that. The hug booth was always a thing that I thoroughly enjoyed and always went to, and we haven't been able to do it for several years, so we're resurrecting the hug booth, and we're bringing our examples of kindness rocks with us, and we're having a table where people can make kindness rocks, and we're handing out unity materials. So sign up in the narthex for however you can participate with that. It is on a Sunday, so we'll be here having service. There will be some of us that are there setting up, and then those of us who would like to participate after service can go and give hugs while we, also interact with people and share with them about our beloved Unity Church of Christ. World Day of Prayer is on Wednesday, September 10th. We'll be having that at 7 p.m. in person and live on Facebook, so come and join us for that. And then, of course, our prayer potluck breakfast and tent revival is coming up in September on the 13th so that we can get our grounds ready for our picnic the following day. And we're also going to be on that day setting up for Lifeline, who will be coming in on Wednesday. So we're going to need help with that. And then for those of you who can come in and help us on Thursday, reset the room for Sunday service, that would be wonderful. Lifeline screening then will be here, as I said, that Wednesday, and you should have received a special blast where you could sign up for that or share a flyer with family and friends. It's a wonderful way to do some preventative testing at a very reasonable price to just make sure that you're in the best health condition that you can be in. As you know, we have ongoing activities around here. We have our Critter Corner out here, and we have our IHOC. And our Missy has a little something to share with you, a wonderful idea that she came up with because of something that happened to her, so she'll do that quickly.
So when we had started the interfaith working with the homeless shelters, and we were getting all the supplies that we used to do for lotions and potions, a group of us got to go hang out with the interfaith community and put together these bags for homeless people and boxes for homeless people. And before we left, they encouraged us to take a couple and just keep them in our car. The same list of stuff that we're doing here, and I happen to have 2 in my car the other day, and I was going into Wawa to get a cup of coffee, and there was a young man who couldn't even been in high school, finishing his high school days yet. And he was standing outside, and I just asked him if he was okay, and he said, "Yeah, but I could really use $1 if you wouldn't mind." And so I happened to have the bag because I saw him beforehand. And I said, "Would you like this? It has some toothpaste and some socks and some things that you might like." And he just, the smile on his face, you could tell it was like a little Christmas present they had gotten. And it might have been a long time since he'd gotten anything. And then, of course, I came out and gave him money afterwards. But it's just the idea of, it was, not only was it a gift to him, it was a gift to me. So I just remember that we are doing this. And in the meantime, don't wait till the spring to do it, and with everybody and give it out to the interfaith community, but maybe make a couple for your own car and keep them in the car for yourselves if you've seen people who might need help.
Missy. Yeah, what a gift for him and what a gift to her. Okay, so I think that's everything. Do I have anything else I need to share? Yes, sign-ups in the North. There are sign-ups in the narthex for There are sign-ups in the narthex for everything. Also, to let us know how many people are coming to the picnic, what you're going to bring to the picnic, what you're going to bring to the breakfast the day before, and remember to bring your lawn chairs to the picnic because these chairs sink into the ground and we don't use them. And the hug booth, and sign up for the hug booth. Okay, now we will have our daily word reader come on up. Mr. Mihal O'Brien, and read a daily word that is pertinent to today's lesson.
Today's daily word is listen, which comes from Monday, October the 13th, 1958. And our affirmation is, today I take time to listen. You can find this affirmation on the inside cover of your bulletin. Let's affirm it together. Today I take time to listen. Sometimes we are so busy thinking about this or that, sometimes we're so busy talking, or sometimes we're just so busy that we do not take time to listen. It is by listening that we learn the deepest truths. Even in times of prayer, it is possible to think so loudly that the still, small voice, ever counseling from within, is unnoticed and unheard. Today, let us quiet our thoughts and our voices that we may learn from the Spirit of God within us what we are to know and do. In our times of prayer, let us open our ears inward to the guiding presence and say, "Speak, Lord, for your servant hears." Then let us listen patiently for the ideas which will inevitably come to us. When other persons are speaking, let us listen that we may be quickened to the inspiration that is found in the sharing of ideas. As we take time to listen, we find that we are a part of the harmony of the music of life that is going on about us. Our Bible verse is from Matthew chapter 13, verse 16. "Blessed are your ears, for they hear." And again, our affirmation is, "Today I take time to listen."
Thank you, Miha. Listening is something that is very important for so many reasons and in so many ways. When we turn within and take time to listen, undoubtedly, this is going to enhance our listening skills in the outer as well. True listening is key to good communication, to healthy relationships, even to healthy mind, body, and spirit. Think about it. When we listen, we open our minds and hearts to the all potential and possibility that lives within us. The I am of our being, which is the direct line to our divinity, to spirit that lives within us. And when we listen within, we're guided to right thinking, right answers, right action, and right outcome as a result of that. And it might not always be a smooth ride, more than anything because of the way we interpret what we hear within. And so we make it a hit or miss process. We make it that. "Oh, I must not have heard that right. I think I'll do it this way." But through trial and error and continued practice and perseverance, we can learn to listen, do what we are guided to do, we learn to get it. When we listen within, we're also guided to hone our outer listening skills and to determine what things we are listening to in the outer are truth and what things are not truth. We just know in here. But we have to stop, we have to look, and we have to listen. Now, today is the 5th Sunday of the month, which happens about 3 or 4 times a year. And this year, in case you haven't noticed yet, we've been dedicating these 5th Sundays to our 5th unity principle, which tells us that it's not enough just to study, to know, or to understand the first 4 principles. It's not enough to just study and learn and to understand truth. If we really want to transform our lives, which is what I think we're all here to do, and if you're not serious about that, or you think that you've already transformed your life and you don't need any more transformation, then you're probably in the wrong place. Anyway, to truly transform our lives, we must actively live the truth that we know and understand. We need to actively apply it if it's to make a difference in our lives. And yeah, it's going to be a hit or miss, a trial and error thing, and that's how we're going to learn. We need to do it. And I call this principle, my name for it is live it. Live it. And to truly live anything requires action on our part. We live the first 4 principles by thinking, practicing, and doing. Now, some of the active application of our unity truth principles might not be action that is seen with the human eye. And today we're going to talk about one of them, and that, if you haven't guessed yet, is listening. But it isn't just any kind of listening, because half the time we think we're listening and we're really not. We're going to talk about active listening, which requires spiritual, mental, and physical attention. We're going to explore what it means to really hear to hear with the ears of spirit, to listen with the heart, and to practice a kind of listening that transforms not only our conversations, but our consciousness as well. And it might, maybe, even touch the consciousness of another person, the person that we're listening to. Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. In July, we did a series on Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. Has anyone here read that book? Okay. So from that, or the talk, does anyone recall what those agreements are? And tell me what, if you know, and if you know virtually, put it in the chat.
Don't take anything personally.
Don't take anything personally. Be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't make assumptions. I am so proud of you. You're listening. I was ready to ask if anybody was listening because I don't always get those kind of responses. So, that's what they are. Now, I'm going to share with you that my vacation earlier this month was a cluster mess. And part of that mess included a clash with some of my children and a mess with a dear friend, all of it over words, over listening, and not truly hearing with the heart in that moment. And believe me when I tell you, because I had just done that series, I was reciting these agreements over and over and over in my head all week as I questioned my part in it. Was I impeccable with my word? Did I take something personally? Did I make an assumption? And where I may have found fault with myself, did I do my best in the moment? Now, Don Miguel Ruiz has another book that you might have read or might want to get, and it's entitled The Fifth Agreement. And I wished I had brought that book with me on vacation because it might have helped. The fifth agreement is be skeptical, but listen. Now, this agreement always makes me think of a well-known Islamic proverb that a dear mentor often used to share. Trust Allah, but tie up your camel. It's not God, it's not spirit, it's not Allah that we need to be skeptical of, it's people. Especially of what we hear people say. Because most of what we hear, or think we hear, isn't completely true. Matter of fact, this same mentor used to always say, listen to what I say, not what you hear. Because sometimes what we hear might not even be true at all, what we think we hear. And there's a couple of reasons for this. First, whenever I share anything with another person, I'm doing it from my perspective, based on my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs and values, my experiences, and where I might be spiritually, mentally, and or physically in that moment. So whatever I say is always going to be biased, unless I can learn to recognize this and do my best to take the bias out, if that's even possible. It's all about self-awareness. Second, when I listen to what another says, I hear it from my perspective, based on my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs and values and experiences, and where I might be spiritually, mentally, and or physically in that moment. And in this case, it takes not only self-awareness, but an awareness of the one with whom I'm speaking, because the same is true for them on the other end. I have to be aware of the one I'm listening to, and I need to ask myself, is it I am that is listening, or me with a little m, that other part of my being that thinks it knows what the person's going to say next and thinks it really knows what they mean? In truth, it probably needs to be both, It needs to be all of me, both the human of me and the divine of me, that is fully present and aware in that moment. And if we happen to share the same mindset with the person that's speaking to us, we often take what they say as truth because, well, I agree with it. Even if in truth, it's not truth. Then what do we do with that? Well, of course, we share it with others before even considering that we might want to take it into the silence to listen and determine if it is truth or not truth. Today's scripture is from James, and this is the first chapter, verses 19 to 25. Know this, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man works not the righteousness of God. For this reason, filthiness and overflowing of wickedness, which just means because of error, receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deluding your own selves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man beholding his natural face in a mirror. For he beholds himself and goes away, and straightway forgets what manner of man he was. But he that looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and so continues, being not a hearer that forgets, but a doer that works, this man shall be blessed in his doing. So James is saying, be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to anger. Stay away from error and turn to the implanted word, the word within. And then he takes it even further as he basically says, don't just hear the word, live it. Be doers of the word. So my question is, what kind of doers of the word are we being? What kind of doing are we doing with the word that we hear? In order to be true hearers of and doers of the word, we have to first understand that there's power in the word and what we do with it. We have to be aware of the word we speak and skeptical of the word we hear from any source other than within. Not because we need to disbelieve other people, because sometimes our answers that we're looking for come through others, don't they? So we need to be skeptical and turn within for clarity, because using doubt to our advantage can enhance our understanding, as it did for Thomas with Jesus. And that's a whole nother conversation for another day. See, it's not about just what we physically hear and see. It's about using our senses both physically and spiritually to determine truth. And skepticism protects us from accepting every word as true so that we can catch and hear a deeper truth. Spirit speaks through all of us if we choose to really turn in. Active listening allows us to discern the essence beyond what we hear so that we can connect with one another on a deeper level. So Mr. Ruiz is not telling us to distrust every word that comes out of someone's mouth. He's explaining that most of the time when people speak, they're telling us their story, just as we tell them ours when we speak. As he puts it, we're each telling our dream. That's his word. My understanding of that is they're telling us their understanding of the world from their perspective. We're telling each other our understanding of the world from each of our individual perspectives or personal perspectives, more likely. Ruiz reminds us that words are symbols, each one representing something specific to us personally, and that each person's reality, including ours, is shaped by their own symbolic story or word. And we're talking about the little r reality here, not the big R, because we know what that is. So that's why we need to always do our best to be impeccable with our word. Not take things personally, not make assumptions, and be skeptical, but truly listen. Now, on the flip side of that, our stories and judgments also color how and what we hear. Every word is a symbol shaped by the experience of the one sharing and the experience of the one listening. Now, unfortunately, in the listening process, our ego often rushes to agree or disagree with the other person, or because we think that we know that what they're going to say next, or what they mean by what they're saying, before we've even taken a moment to stop, look, and look within, look at them and look within, and listen. We got to stop reading other people's minds and listen to our heart. Proverbs 18:13 says, if anyone gives an answer before he hears, it's his folly and shame. Have you ever rushed into a conversation, sticking your foot in your mouth and creating a disaster? Nobody but me? No. Oh. Or rushed to tell a story to someone else that might not even have been your story to tell and created a cluster mess situation? Consciously or not, we're so busy trying to be cool that we sometimes look like a fool, or we miss all the living that's to be done through the opportunities that are right in front of us to share ideas or to give or receive support when we're conversing with other people. That's what happens when we don't practice active listening. We're so full of our own opinions, our own reactions, our own need to be in control or to be right, that there's no space to receive the wisdom that might be pouring through the other person, or to see their pain or experience their joy. Have you ever talked with someone who only waits for their turn to speak, for their turn to tell their story instead of listening to yours? And how does that make you feel? It's kind of a one-sided conversation, isn't it? But when someone really listens, when they lean in, eye to eye with you, giving you their full attention, asking how you feel, what you think, then you feel seen and heard. Maybe sometimes even validated, maybe not. Maybe as you talk, sometimes don't. As we're speaking, sometimes we hear ourselves and all of a sudden we realize, oh, well, maybe I need to rethink that. But that's not going to happen if somebody else who's listening keeps interrupting the conversation. That's the wonder of active listening. It honors the other's experience, and it creates a space where spirit can flow through both of us. When we practice active listening, we begin to hear beyond the story. We begin to hear the deeper meaning behind the words, allowing the essence of God to come through and speak to us. Those proverbs are great little things. 133, whoever listens to me, God within, I am, will dwell secure and will be at ease without dread of disaster. On page 101 of his book, Mr. Ruiz says, you don't have to form an opinion about what someone says. How often do you not form an opinion about what someone says? You don't have to form an opinion about someone says. You don't have to express your own opinion. You don't have to agree or disagree. Just listen. The more impeccable a person is with the word, the clearer the message will be. But the words that come from another have nothing to do with you. You know that it's nothing personal. You listen and you understand all the words, but the words no longer affect you. You no longer judge what other people say because you understand what they are doing. They are only letting you know what is going on in their world. When we listen with our full attention without rushing to respond, we honor ourselves and the other person. Foremost, the other person that we're listening to. This is the doing that we need to be doing. Listening with our full attention to their words to discern what's beneath. So what gets in the way? Well, let's face it, we're busy. Our phones are pinging all the time, and we've got things to do. It's so hard to hear what my heart says to me when my mind and my phone is chattering constantly, drawing my attention elsewhere. Or maybe it's fear. Fear of saying the wrong thing, fear of being vulnerable. And what about impatience? As they're talking, we're thinking, would you just hurry up and get to the point, please? Those are the things that could keep us locked in our head, reacting instead of responding from our heart. We need to be in balance. We need to be both. So what can we do about that? Well, we can begin by remembering who we are. Remember James' metaphor he used. The one who hears the word but doesn't live it is like someone who looks in a mirror, then walks away forgetting who they are. Being doers of the word means to be still and know. Be still and know that I am God, lives in me and in you. But in order to know this, we have to be still. We have to turn our face to mirror the truth of our divinity and the divinity that lives in every person. When we make getting still part of our daily lives, then we're more apt to take that stillness into our listening out here. Listening with ears, eyes, and heart of the Spirit within. This is the doing. This is the being, not a hearer that forgets who we are, who I am, but a doer that works. And that doer shall be blessed in their doing. So we have to be doers of the word and not hearers only, because that's when we delude ourselves and probably delude those around us. Active listening then becomes a mirror practice. When I truly listen, I know who I am, a beloved expression of God, and I can remember the other person and remind them of who they are maybe in some way, if I wisely decide to speak. If I don't actively listen, then it's like I'm walking away from the mirror, forgetting my true identity and yours. Spirit speaks through our intuition, that inner knowing. This is what James called the implanted word. Put away all error and receive with meekness, not trying to be cool or get something in there or be in control, receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. When we cultivate a quiet mind and a quiet heart through meditation, prayer, and getting still, then we learn to distinguish our own chatter from the calm guidance of God within. We also learn to listen past the chatter of another to something deeper. True active listening can be the starting point for loving action. When we truly hear someone from the I am of our being, then we can see the truth of theirs, and we become open, allowing love to flow through us naturally as patient words, compassionate deeds, kindness, without criticism. And that's how we become doers of the word and not hearers who forget. So let's take a few minutes now to be still and know. Let's take a few minutes now to do that as we contemplate within this idea of being skeptical but listening. So I invite you to set everything aside. so that you can become quiet and still. And ready yourself to listen for the whisper of your soul. Perhaps close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that, knowing that this is a safe and sacred space where you can open yourself to all the goodness of God that is always available to you. And as you sit quietly, remember to breathe. Let it be a nice, full breath. Perhaps holding it at the top for a moment and then releasing. And do that again. Breathe in. Hold. Let go. The still small voice within. In this stillness, know that the Spirit of God is present in this very moment, present in, through, and as you. And then listen to the words of James again. Let everyone be quick to listen, slow to speak, be doers of the word. Remember who you are. And then silently affirm, I have ears to hear. I listen with my heart. I hear with ears of spirit. I am fully present, fully aware, fully and truly listening. And then bring your attention gently to your body without judgment, just listening to what it has to say to you. Notice what sensations you feel. Warmth, tension, energy. You're listening to the temple of spirit that you are. And so offer it love and compassion. And then allow your awareness to move to the top of your head. And imagine a soft, glowing light there. You might even feel a little tingling sensation. This light is the Christ within, your eternal truth, that which knows your worth, that which is the source of your strength, that which is your peace of mind and all that you will ever need. And then let this Christ light move slowly down into your heart. And listen deeply. What is it that your heart is whispering? It might be a word, it might be a feeling. It might be silence. And that silence is holy. So take this moment to just listen. And now bring to mind someone in your life, maybe a friend or a family member, or even someone that you've struggled to understand. And just see them standing in front of you, surrounded in light. In this sacred space, there's no need to judge, no need to defend or prepare anything to say. Just look at them and affirm for yourself, I am quick to hear. I am slow to speak. I trust the wisdom within. And then just continue to behold this person in the light of their truth. And just listen. Listen with love. Hear not only their words, but the longing of their heart, their soul. See the light of truth in their being. And then just simply hold them in this light. And now release them to this truth. And imagine yourself standing before a mirror. And this mirror not only reflects your outer self, it reflects your divine essence because it's the mirror of spirit. And as you gaze into this mirror, you remember who you are. a beloved child of God, whole and holy, radiant and complete. And then simply ask, what is mine to hear today? And then listen in the stillness for the whisper that holds the answer. That strong but gentle guide with 1,000 different voices that only your heart can hear. Know that I am God, lives in me as me. This is the truth of my soul and the soul of all those I meet. And as I listen deeply, I know this truth. And I gratefully follow the light of this truth to walk closer in the way and the nature of my elder brother and way shower, Jesus the Christ, and closer in the way and the nature of my identity as a Christ of God. Amen.
I tune into the experts on all the TV shows. I read the books that tell me all the things that I should know. I ask my friends what they think of the things I'm going through. When no one has the answers, I know what to do. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. Listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ears. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The other voices tell me that I'm not good enough to win the peace they say that I am not worthy of. And though they shout so loudly, sometimes I can hardly speak. I know where to turn to find the source of my strength. I listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, my strong and gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ears. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. The whisper holds the answers. It's up to me to ask. I wonder why so often it's the thing that I do last. Listen for the whisper deep down inside. Listen for the whisper, my strong and gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ears. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can. Listen for the whisper deep down inside. I listen for the whisper, a strong but gentle guide, with 1,000 different voices ringing in my ears. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear. I listen for the whisper that only the heart can hear.
I see some of you are still listening. So I'm going to leave you today with some words of Don Miguel Ruiz. And this is from page 225 of the Fifth Agreement. I know that we have our differences because we live in our personal dream, which he means world. But we can respect one another's dream. We can agree to work together, knowing that each of us is the center of our own dream. Each one of us has our own beliefs, our own story, our own point of view. There are billions of different points of view, but it's the same light, the same force of life behind each one of us. So this week, I invite you to be skeptical, but listen with your spiritual ears, from the Christ in you to the Christ in the other person. Listen with love, hear with your heart, and live the truth you know. And have a blessed and beautiful week. And now I invite you to look in your bulletin and join us in an affirmation of abundance as we prepare our gifts and offerings. And as you hold those gifts and offerings in your hands and in your heart, know that they are the substance of God that you have received to use, to enjoy, and to share. And so, as you keep that in mind, let's say the affirmation of abundance together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive, and for this I am grateful to be a part of that giving and receiving. And again, let's bless it as one together. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we give and all that we receive. And we see these gifts so generously and lovingly given, going to further the Christ-based teachings within each individual here, within our lives and our world as we share and exemplify them. And as always, we are grateful to be a part of this wonderful movement of spirit that we know and love as Unity Church of Christ. Amen. Join us in the prayer for protection, and I choose love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one one tie that binds us can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us, let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Action. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. For wherever we are, God is. And where God is, all is well. And I see you this week embracing these truths, listening to hear them and see them in others and in yourself, listening quietly in the silence to know, and having a wonderfully blessed week. Amen.
I stand before you now, pretending to be cool, and all the while I'm wondering if I'm looking like a fool. Will I be as perfect as I think I ought to be? And when I'm not, what will you think of me? I need a plan to see me through. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop reading other people's minds. I'm gonna look at the good that surrounds me. I'm gonna listen to my heart when it tells me what to do. I'm gonna notice every time a little dream comes true. I'll do all the living I've been missing when I stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen. Walking through the park, there was beauty all around, but I didn't see a thing, 'cause my eyes were on the ground. I didn't see the sun or the sky so blue. I was looking days ahead of all the things I had to do, drowning in stress and strain. I said it's time for me to make a change. I'm gonna stop looking at other people's minds. I'm gonna look at the good that surrounds me. I'm gonna listen to my heart when it tells me what to do. I'm gonna notice every time a little dream comes true. I'll do all the living I've been missing when I stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen. So hard to hear what my heart says to me when my mind starts chattering constantly. Living in the past or in future plans means watching the present slip through my hands. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna stop reading other people's minds. I'm gonna look at the good that surrounds me. I'm gonna listen to my heart when it tells me what to do. I'm gonna notice every time a little dream comes true. I'll do all the living I've been missing when I stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen. Stop, look and listen.